Well, that's what North Canadian job site looks like. Dorian, Ontario. So a couple of portable houses. And of course all guys are young guys, you know. No hat. The guy comes out minus 20 Celsius. I said, how you guys do it? He says, oh, lots of layers. Like, very the guy in a good mood, you know. It's Saturday, so he'll probably be going to the hotel for the weekend, drink beer, meet his buddies. But this was the best 35 bucks I spent, I'm telling you. Like, it's a venti, so it's hard to find these. Wait a second, 20 ounces? I thought venti was 24, 591 milliliters. Anyway, hold on. What I'm doing is I disconnected the Jeep from the trailer. And I just parked it like this. And the guy says, yeah, no problem. We're gonna load the Jeep. I always check if there's pressure in the hoses, because once I didn't, and it was not good. It was not pretty. It sprayed the hydraulic all over my face. That's the guy we were waiting for. It's a mechanic. This was pretty fast. So the guy helped me, actually. The guy, you know, despite the cold, the boss, like the manager, this young kid, helped me take the chains off, and all the chains are covered in like this much crust. And I'm gonna show you the excavator. And I told the guy, I said, believe it or not, all this dirt is from Ontario. And the guy says, I believe it. I said, yeah, it looked much better even when I was on that Minnesota one. It looked much better. But they couldn't start it. They couldn't start it, and that's what Ron, the guy, the boss, I talked on the phone. But he's not here. Okay, what I gotta do now is I already set up chains to secure my, and see, these come in real handy. Yeah, I set up my chains to secure the Jeep, but all the binders are screwed up. So I'm gonna go and spray some stuff on them. And I just discovered, this happened before, my DEF cap was open. Man, the last time I put in DEF, maybe it opened in transit, I don't know, but when did I added 2 jugs of, I think this was in Rush City. In Rush City, Minnesota. So I hope I didn't drive all that long with the open DEF tank, because that can really cause problems. And you see here what I did when I disconnected all these. Oh man, it's already broke. What the heck? Well, at least something. But I covered the hydraulic hoses. Yeah, so I want to clean up these a little bit. What? No pressure. Salt dirt. Hey, boss.
How long has she been off for?
Maybe since Tuesday. In Wyoming.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, this might take an hour or two.
Okay, wow.
Just so you're aware. You know, I'll get her plugged in, get a boost on her, and we'll try her in an hour.
What do you think? The oil is frozen?
Oh, yeah, everything's fucking frozen.
Actually,
it hasn't run since Tuesday.
Yeah, it was not that cold over there. It was maybe like -6, but then
It was -27 here this morning. And you were driving in it.
No, I stopped at Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
I slept there on the side of the road. It was the lowest I saw was -23. But yeah, of course it's covered by all this mud, you know.
Yeah.
Wind.
She's chilled. It'll take a little bit.
Okay.
I don't feel like changing a starter by getting impatient. I've had that happen already.
No, it's okay. Take your time. It's
Yeah, like I said, it won't take forever. But
it's Saturday, so yeah, I'm okay. I don't want to rush this because I can sit in the truck. Yeah, Ron. I talked to Ron, and Ron was afraid something like this might happen. He thought maybe fuel is warm climate. I said it's Wyoming. What warm climate?
Yeah, fucking Wyoming's almost as cold as here.
Yeah, exactly. So I
better have winter fuel in it.
So I'm pretty sure.
More winter. I've dealt with more rental equipment this year, where it showed up from the States and everything was fucking gelled.
Oh. No, this one should be okay. I think.
Hope so.
Yeah, because he drove it okay in Wyoming. There was no issues.
I used up all my John Deere fuel filters on another rig that showed up from Winnipeg, and they said they changed everything. He must have got a bad load of fuel then. There was a disc of ice the size of a urinal puck in the fucking water separator. You wonder why it wouldn't stay running.
So just a little bit, you know. I know it's not perfect, it's still dirty, but at least something. And I cannot unhook the neck because I need that timber to put under the neck of the trailer. See? So some guy emailed me saying that he can remove these, but everything is rusted there, everything is seized. We still have the engine in there, right?
Huh?
The engine is still there.
Yeah. No, I was looking for a blocky car. This one's got a Eberspacher engine heater, so I'll fire that up and get a boost on it. I don't see a cord. Usually the cord comes out on the pump side for the block.
Yeah, it's a fairly new machine. It's 2018.
Yeah.
Man, that excavator looks like something from a horror movie. But also, look at my truck. No, I honestly hope it was not open. No, I don't see too much dirt in there. Because, you know what can happen is that all this dirt can fly in there. And it can screw up the engine. Okay, what is this? This is coolant. I don't need that. Oh, I might add that one. Oh, that's oil. Shoot, I don't have. Yeah, that one is oil, so I don't have antifreeze coolant. I thought I had one more. Transmission fluid. That's what I. Automatic transmission fluid. That's what I put in. Yeah, I'll add this later when I'm hooking back up. And so yeah, I wrote a comment on YouTube there, community. I can already see people saying, man, your truck is so dirty. Yeah, I'm gonna each time I get in and out, I'm gonna change into slippers, you know. You guys are nuts, you know. A lot of you. No offense, but in a good way. Because are we recording? Oh, I think we're recording. Yeah, I'll tell you briefly what happened. You see, like, layers, right? I have this, and then I have this, and actually the weakest point was my feet, because I only put one pair of socks, but the gloves are great, and I put like a bunch of sweaters underneath. But and this thing is really, I like this. That's what most guys here wear. But yeah, yesterday a funny thing happened is that like people keep bugging me about this useless convoy. Okay, I gotta say that I don't support this, okay, because I'm vaccinated. I have to make money, I have bills coming, so I cannot just go and join convoy with an excavator, you know. I think it's all for nothing. But what I would wish they would do is, I wish they would, Canadian and American government would streamline the procedure, right? Like I said, I'm vaccinated, I believe in vaccination, so don't get me started on this stupid convoy. But so when I was entering Montana, was it Montana? Yeah, from Coutts, Alberta, I was entering Montana, and the guy says, "Are you vaccinated?" The CBP officer. I said, "Yes, sir." "You want to see my phone?" And he almost had a heart attack. No phone, no electronic records, paper only. Okay. By the way, where's my paper? I think it should be somewhere here. I got my bills of lading. I got, as usual, I have two sets of bills of lading. One for my company and then one from the freight broker. I got, okay, I have ACI manifest. Yeah, I see like this. I printed out because, yeah, that guy says you must show me a piece of paper with dates for each dose, and I printed one first where it says 2 doses, but it still shows like May 26th last year when I received the first dose. And so now I printed 2 of them, And so the guy let me through, right? He says basically it's still kind of like a learning period, right, when they teach people how to do it. But the rules change on January 15th. All right, okay. And so yesterday I set up my border crossing way beforehand. Everything is good. My parts is accepted. I show up at the border and it's very tight in there, in this Pigeon River near Thunder Bay. I barely made it out, had to run on the curb there. Otherwise I would have hit the, you know, the lane, because my rig is so long. And the guy says, "Are you vaccinated?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he says, "Did you do arrive can?" I said, "I have paper." Like I said, US guys wanted me to show them pieces of paper showing dates. And this guy says, no. Here in Canada, we need arrive can. Do you know what it is? I said, yeah, I know what it is. It's an app, right? It's an app from the free app from the federal government. Kind of like a pre-notification system where you tell them when are you coming and your address, and if you are told to quarantine, where you would quarantine, you know. And the most importantly, that app allows you to take a picture of these proof of vaccination. And that's what this guy says, that's what they want. I said, wait, no, because I use that arrive can. You must use it when US opened the border. Remember, I went to pick up my TWIC card in my car, and they were saying that for non-essential workers, you know, when I'm driving my personal vehicle, even though I'm a trucker, but when I'm in the personal vehicle, that's not essential service anymore, right? And so I had to do that arrive can, you know, for the way back to Canada. And I told the guy on the way back, I said, "Are you vaccinated?" "Yeah." I said, "You want to see my arrive can?" The guy just waved, you know. Basically, no, he's not interested. This was Fort Erie, Ontario. And so that's what I would wish. I would wish they would just streamline the procedure on both sides of the border. You know, like, I think you have to be vaccinated. And also these smart people, you know, they're trying to get Canadian government to change the procedure. But what about the states? What are you gonna do next? You're gonna go into US and you are unvaccinated, nobody will let you in. But I mean, if Canadian government, okay, let's say they say, no, forget it, no vaccination, anybody can enter Canada. But you have US, right? This is all what all this hoopla is about cross-border trucking. So US doesn't care what Canada is doing, pretty much, right? So if you persuade Trudeau here to change the rules, how do you persuade to change the rules in US? And honestly, I feel bad. Like, I go into US, right? Like yesterday I was in Minnesota, and the day before, right, I was in where was I? South Dakota, right? You go inside, nobody's wearing any masks, you know, like, people don't care. People grab door handles with their hand, then they touch their nose, their face, you know. I don't know, I think masks do work. Like, I have these nice black ones now, and they're supposed to offer a bit of more protection, you know. Just at least when somebody sneezes. I don't know what the big deal is with these vaccines. You know, when I was a kid, we always were vaccinated. Like, there was smallpox or something, right? Like those very bad diseases. And I don't understand what the big problem is. But I talked to one guy, a Russian guy or Ukrainian, who now American. And he says, "Oh, by the way, good news for you. Many American drivers are Republicans, and so they don't believe in vaccination, and because of that, now they cannot enter Canada." I said, perfect. Because that means more work for me, because this guy, he was watching my videos, and then he asked me for help to get authority in Canada. I'm like, son of a gun, you know. So now he's doing my loads. Like, I hardly have any loads, you guys know, right? It always takes me forever to find a good load. American market is 50 times bigger, right? If you search for a load, you know this, I talked about this many times before. And now that American drivers are taking our Canadian loads, you know, like I said, they have so many loads inside US, right? But anyway, so all Republicans, all American drivers now cannot enter Canada. So, like I said, which is good news for me, less competition. So, that's my position, to clarify, okay? So, this guy said it might take a while. Shall I go maybe practice with a kettlebell? No, maybe not. Too cold. And these guys all have, let's see, they have pickup trucks. What do they have? I think it's a Chevy. Yeah, it's a Chevy because I see that bow tie in the back. It's a Chevy. And now the sun is, check this out. You see now the sun is shining. Let's see, what's the verdict now? Minus 19. Minus 19, that's good. Minus 19. And so yeah, yesterday I crossed the border. The guy almost turned me back pretty much. Where's your arrive can? And so I asked him, I said, so what do you want me to do the entire thing, like give you pre-notification? Because I said, I thought it was only for non-essential workers. He says, no, starting January 15th, everybody coming to Canada has to use that app. And I said, wait, so you want me to tell you, like they say on the website, 72 hours in advance when I'm arriving, with what port, what date? And this guy says, no. Basically what we want is, we want you to have proof of vaccination on that app. And then he says, when I put your name, somehow it's gonna show on his computer. I don't know. Basically, Canadians believe in electronic records. US CBP only wants paper. And so this guy let me go, and I asked him, I said, guys, do you know where I can stop? Because it was already 5 o'clock and I'm back on Eastern time. So I said, you know, it's an oversized load. So I'm talking to the Canadian Border Services agent. I said, I can drive after dark in Minnesota on the other side of the border, but I cannot drive after dark in Ontario. And surprise, surprise, this guy says, oh, I did not know that. So of course they don't know anything. So, and I said, where can I park? I cannot drive when it's dark. Can I park here? Because they had like a small area over there, but of course they don't like that. They don't like trucks, you know, sleeping at the customs port. And so they kicked me out. The guy says, 5 minutes down the road, there's a pocket, like a wayside little parking. Okay, I see that one is like 20 feet long, you know, maybe you can put a pickup truck in there. I just stopped, I put my lights on, and I kept driving. I made it to Thunder Bay, and I remembered that there's a very wide, like there's a spot there in Thunder Bay, like already north of town. You know, you're not obstructing anybody, but there's a very wide shoulder, kind of like another lane in there. So anyway, so I stopped there and I put my lights on, and I had my flashing lights on, and so I ran my truck all day. So I mean all night, because it was like minus 16 Celsius, then 18, 19, 20. I keep checking during the night, it was like minus 23, but I ran the engine because if I didn't, it started beeping, low battery, because I had my lights on, you know. Mechanic found the problem. It's all the filters. There's like more than, this thing has more filters than my truck. I think it has like 3. And he showed me, he says, you see this? At the bottom of each filter, there's a gel, like a yellow substance, you know, gelled diesel. I just talked to the mechanic. I said, I have good news. And he's looking at me. He said, it's minus 14 now, Celsius. And he says, I have good news too. I said, what's that? He says, I already cleaned up 2 filters. And I look at it, and the gel is gone. I guess he opened it, you know, and he put some warm fuel in there. And he put that, you know, that 911, like emergency defreezer. But man, I don't envy this job. Like, I don't know, they would have to pay me, I don't know, $15,000-$20,000, you know, to work here outside in winter. Yeah.
Oh, I never had to play with these trailers.
That's what the big bucks are.
Detachable neck? Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't do. You're still a 3 race of hollow or what?
Sorry?
It's still a flat rate, is it? Or is it?
No, it all depends on, you know, it's my own little operation, so it depends how you negotiate. So can I leave the stick?
You can do whatever you like. I'm done with the machine. I got all my stuff out here. Right?
Okay. Where's the ref? Okay, let me go put that timber under the deck, under the gooseneck. Suspension, otherwise that neck might touch dirt. Yeah. So now we can go do the thing I do best. Walking the excavator. So it should be okay to turn around, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't want to hit the poor guy, huh? Tracks are frozen. Yeah, but we're gonna load the Jeep.
Oh, you're gonna use this to load the Jeep? Okay.
I don't know, maybe they're gonna use a smaller machine.
I don't know.
Because that's like 9,000 pounds. I'll go get that young kid, right? He's in charge. The blonde guy.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah.
It's easier to use this.
Hey, where's the RPM over here? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's auto idle, and then there's manual. You'll see the AI.
Okay, yeah, I'll just plug it over there for now.
Yeah. I want to put fuel in it anyway.
gonna go get my paperwork signed and see what we're doing. What are they gonna use to load the Jeep? But yeah, it was very slippery. I could feel how the machine was, you know, going. You had to be very careful because you see how much ice is in there. So beautiful weather. I like this because when you're dirty and the truck is dirty, nobody pays attention. Because look at this. Everything is dirty. Got some dirt in my mouth. I think I'm gonna I can hook up to the trailer now, so that we're all ready to load the Jeep. You see, when I increased the I put air back in the suspension, that thing became like half a foot, but when I come back, when I'm really close, drop the air. Okay, test question. Does anybody know why it's beeping? Because I left it in gear, but no brake. And the thing, it doesn't tell you that. What's funny is that it doesn't tell you apply the brakes. What it says, it the driver's door is open. Like, yeah, if you try to open the door and you don't have your brakes on, my truck says the driver's door is open. Like, you would think that maybe brakes are a more important message. Well, I'm driving back to Thunder Bay. My paperwork is signed and it warmed up. Now it's only minus 12 Celsius. So I'm driving over to the nice hotel near the airport with a big parking lot. So plans for today are take a hot bath, do a food bath. You know, we did this all the time when I was a kid. You know, when you have a slight cold, you run a very hot bath and you just put a chair near the bath and you just keep your feet in the water, just maybe, you know, raising them a little bit when it gets too hot. But the plan is to keep the skin on your feet, I mean to make the skin on your feet red. It's gonna look red, like as if you're boiling a lobster. And then you put some socks on and you stick your feet under the blanket and you have a shot of vodka. And actually, I remember one thing we did with vodka was vodka and honey. It was very ugly, but it worked. Basically, you have to heat up vodka, I don't know, 40-50 degrees Celsius, and then you start adding honey in there, and you keep mixing it up. And then you drink that concoction, and usually you feel better in the morning. Yeah, I just caught a sore throat because a couple of days ago I was driving around the parking lot in that Rush City, Minnesota, and it was already dark. I could not see anything. You know, I'm with the excavator, with the Jeep, with the booster. And so I was wearing a warm jacket because I just finished fueling. But I was driving maybe, I don't know, 10 miles an hour, 20 kilometers an hour just around the parking lot. But I opened both windows. And that was a mistake. And then on the next day I started feeling some kind of a congestion, you know, in the nose and the throat. It always gets me when like cold air. I know people say it's a virus, but you know, when I open like in the spring, let's say I'm driving a car and it looks sunny outside, you know, it's like pretty warm, but the wind is still cold. And you open the window, even on this side, on the passenger side, right? So that it doesn't blow into your face. And I know I catch a cold real easy. Like basically the body overcools, and that virus that's been dormant, you know, rears its head. So I think cold temperature definitely contributes, you know. And so that's why I booked a hotel, so I can do some homemade, you know, treatment. Foot bath, hot bathtub, and Crown Royal whiskey. That should put me back on my feet. And then tomorrow I'm gonna set up my border crossing, running empty, and I'll head back to Minnesota because there's no other way. You have to get back to that 61. And I'm gonna take 61 all the way to Duluth. And then south, I think it's Iowa there, Iowa, and then Missouri. And that's what they're doing over there. You see like all that construction. Oh, I didn't show it, sorry, but there's a bunch of rock trucks, dozers, they're doing blasting. And because at first I couldn't understand why they're putting those big rubber mats. You know, the guy was with the excavator with or a special machine that drills the rocks, and then they put these mats on. And then I realized that it's probably for blasting. Like they don't want rocks flying all over the place because it's pretty close to the road. And look at this crazy pilot of Flying J, $66.9. You know, I need fuel, but I'm not gonna get it here, I can tell you that. I don't like this truck stop. There's always ice. This is the only truck stop north of Thunder Bay. Actually, there's a couple downtown. But you know, I never been there. I don't think I could have fit in there with the excavator and the booster and the Jeep. And so I just shut down at the improvised parking space that I created myself, and it all worked out in the end. And so it was interesting talking to the mechanic over there at the consignee. He's actually from Alberta, and he says he likes Alberta because everything is cheaper. I said, hold on, what about alcohol? He says, yeah, beer is more expensive, but he says booze is cheaper. I said, I think wine is also more expensive, even though in Alberta they don't have taxes, you know, like provincial tax, but it's more money because it's supply and demand. I'm guessing when people drink too much, prices tend to rise. Well, this is the edge of Thunder Bay, the first light. And I'm on Highway 11/17. So just 12 clicks to my hotel. What I like about the location is that it's right on that Highway 61. And just for once, Ontario had did well, because they kept the same highway number, right? It's 61 on Minnesota side, and when you cross the border, it continues as 61 Ontario. And so my hotel is right there on 61. So in the morning I don't have to do, too many detours. And there's a couple of things I gotta do for this next load. First of all, I want to wash the trailer, and of course the truck and the Jeep, because this machine I'm picking up, it's brand new, and there's so much dirt and salt on my trailer. They're not gonna like that. So I'll try to find a truck wash somewhere on the way to Kansas City, Missouri. But here in Ontario, it's terrible. Like, they put so much salt. Once I cross into Minnesota, it's much cleaner. But here you just do, like, I don't know, 60 kilometers, right? I did, 80. And I'm much worse than what I was yesterday. Like, all this stuff, I think it snows a little bit, but most of it flies from the passing vehicles. Like, a dry van passed me, man. It was like a shower, a wall of shower, dirty. See, like this, dirt. All that stuff flies from the road. Oh, this is the light. This is where I spend the night, by the way. I'm gonna show you my secret place. So there's the light, and there's the acceleration lane on that side. You see, like, there's 2 lanes, right? But on the other side, there's an extra lane for people who are turning this way. And it's super wide, and it's very long, and there's no signs. And so I turn like this, and that's where I stop there, way, far away from this corner. See, like this black Ford SUV over there, right? It goes, but then right away it tries to change lanes to the main highway. And so that lane, you're not in the way. Of course, you're not supposed to be there, but like, I have an oversized load, right? I wasn't supposed to drive after dark, and the Flying J was too far, and I know it's small and icy. And over here, what's cool is that there's a Safeway grocery store, like humongous grocery store. I got some salami, cheese, some olives, lemon. But of course in the morning it was, and then they have Starbucks. But in the morning it was minus 23 degrees, and I'm walking through the snow. But it's right there behind these. Basically, if you cross here, and there's a shortcut there through the snow. So it's a good location. And then I never went that way, but on the other side there's Esso, there's Subway, there's Wendy's, I think there's a McDonald's there, but I'm not a big fan of those. If there was an A&W, now that would be a different matter. Like a Canadian A&W. I feel like that guy with dogs, he crossing, and then on the other side there's a sidewalk in there, and you can just follow that to the Safeway. Very nice grocery store, except of course everything is expensive. But at this point, I didn't care, because I didn't eat yesterday. So I went in there, I think I spent like $50. I bought some fancy bread with some blueberries and nuts baked in. I bought some, olives, lemon, 2 types of salami. It was a good supper. And the truck was warm, everything was working, except I still cannot forgive myself that I forgot to put the cap on the DEF tank. This is the second time it happens. I don't want to screw up, because if the dirt gets in there, you're screwed. Because there's all kinds of sensors in there, right? And I think the DEF tank has 3 sensors: quality, level, and what's the other one? I think temperature. I already had to replace them once. All 3 went kaput. Not sure why. Maybe because I also once happened. This is the second time it happened with the lid. I don't know. Maybe I closed it, but sometimes you don't turn it fully. Because I think I closed it, but maybe I didn't turn it hard enough, and it just from all the that Highway 1, it was very bumpy, very bumpy. Like there were cracks in the pavement. I don't know. Every 10 feet there's a crack in the pavement, and I'm driving like this, And that's why it took me so long to cover that huge detour, because I was afraid to drive fast. Okay, and 7.7 clicks. We're turning on Arthur Street. And I hope I can fit in, but I know I was actually looking how I found this hotel. I went to Google Maps and I typed in hotels near Thunder Bay, Ontario with truck parking. And a bunch of hotels showed up, and then I started looking at the satellite images, and I see that this Valhalla Inn, I don't know, has like 5 football fields in there, So one soccer field is 10 acres. So this thing has at least like 6, from what I could tell from the bird's eye view. So I'm gonna show you, that's the last thing, guys, I'm gonna show you, and then I'm gonna take it easy till tomorrow. And so I got 2 things to do in the States on the way to the load. So first I have to wash the trailer to keep the customer happy, right? And secondly, they sent me a drawing. I have to buy some dunnage. I have to buy 6 boards of specific length, and then basically you build the ramp. I'm not sure why the trucker has to do this. It's a factory, right? I'm picking up this machine at a factory, and they don't have any ramps in there. Like normally factories, they have their own aluminum or steel ramps specifically designed for these machines, because they build them, right? But this case, no, the guy says, I'm gonna send you loading instructions, and I'll send you a drawing of the dunnage you have to bring. So on top of the truck wash, I gotta find Home Depot or something like that. So I'm gonna buy maybe 4 boards. Maybe I don't need 6 because they're pretty short, actually. I think they wanted them. One is like 43 feet long, and other one's like 60, something like that. And then basically you make like a ladder so that the machine climbs up. Of course, I would prefer to have hardwood, but I have no idea where I would buy hardwood and why cut it like that. I think regular wood should be okay, but this thing is pretty heavy. 102,000 pounds, according to my paperwork. 2.4 clicks. Yeah, I see it like here. That's pretty much like the downtown is over there. But now we're gonna hit another, like this one, it's all green here, it's all wild. And here, this is 1117, so this is 1117 goes that way. Like this road here. And so the one I'm staying on, that's the one that takes me to US border. So on the Canadian side it's called Pigeon River, Ontario, because they have a river called Pigeon River over there. And on the Minnesota side, I think it's called Grand Portage, Minnesota. Like, I don't like these, but see, like, because I'll be turning onto a local road. So basically the Jeep is on the deck, but I left the booster. Don't scream at me, but that booster, I'm telling you, especially in bad weather, it's impossible to hook it up. Takes forever. Like, I can disconnect that booster, believe it or not, by myself. Takes 15 minutes. I just put some tonnage under there, you know, play with the air till the pins release, right? And then just drive away, and it just drops on the tonnage. But trying to hook back up takes 2 hours. Ask me how I know. Even with a guide, like the guy who helps you, you know, in a forklift or excavator. Because, you know, the way, I'm not sure, like, if I had, because that's a JC trailer unit, right? It's a third-party spreader bar or booster. Like, all the axles are Fontaine, but the spreader bar itself is just like the Jeep and the big neck are all, they were all built by JC trailer, and the tolerances there are very small on the booster, you know. So it has to be in the perfect position to hook up the pins. And I think Fontaine, probably, if I had the original Fontaine, it probably wouldn't be as bad. But this one, man, they had to grind it, right? When I was picking this up, they had to grind it for an hour because it was not fitting. So basically they miscalculated the dimensions. But I don't know, that booster works. You know, they say these big airbags, they're about like 800 Canadian each. What is it, like 600 US? But they say they last 3-4 years. You know, and I don't use that booster that often, right? So the Jeep is on the deck, the booster's on the road. Forget it. And then when I'm in Kansas City, I hope they have some kind of a machine that can pick up the 9,000-pound Jeep. Because I cannot drag it off myself. First of all, because the neck is facing the rear. Because that's how you load, otherwise it's gonna hit the neck of the trailer. And secondly, because my neck doesn't have support legs. I know that's how some guys, they do it themselves, you know, they grab the neck and then they attach some temporary standing legs and they drop the neck, right? So it keeps standing by itself, and then you can hook up.
500 meters, turn right onto Arthur Street West, Ontario 17B.
Yeah, then you can hook up to the Jeep and drive it off. But it's very tricky because, you know, the trailer is 8.6 wide. Guess how wide the truck is? 8.5 probably? You know,
turn right onto Arthur Street West, Ontario 17B.
And the Jeep is the same. The Jeep is pretty much exactly the width of the trailer, so it can be dangerous.
In 400 meters, turn left onto Valhalla Inn Road.
that's the one over there. So this is Hampton Inn. I need Valhalla Inn. And that's how people shop in Thunder Bay. By the way, one funny thing happened here. You cannot get plastic bags. So either you just carry it in.
Left onto Valhalla Road, then turn left onto Corey Street.
Either you carry it in your pockets. Or basically you buy, oh, check this out. LCBO, Metro, Walmart, Starbucks. Oh wow. This is cool location. Restaurant. And I have some salami and cheese from yesterday, but
Turn left onto Corey Street, then turn right.
right. Guy said, oh yeah, lots of parking, but because one thing they forget to tell you is that how do you get in? Okay, I cannot turn in this one. I think there's another entrance.
Valhalla Road, then turn left.
Like these people, on the satellite picture, like I'm telling you, it seemed like they had
Turn left, then turn right.
5 soccer fields. Son of a gun, look how sharp it is over here. Probably make this one. Okay guys, I gotta take the camera off and go investigate. Well guys, I just had an interesting 1 hour improving the driving techniques on my truck. Spent an hour trying to get into that driveway. Too narrow. No matter what I did, the side of the trailer was hitting the tree. Then I thought, okay, how about this one? There's another driveway here, and I remember from the research that I think there's a road that goes around. Like actually it is a big property, but if I could get inside, I could turn around in there. But unfortunately I wasn't able to do that. And so I tried to block my booster, and because I was already at an angle, it refused to be blocked. Like one support thing was falling in between the booster between the booster and the trailer, you know. So I was facing that way, right? I came here, I stayed as far to the right as possible, trying to make that turn, but there's no way you can do that with a 8 exit. trail light. So I drained all the air. Only the tandem has the air now. Like these are all done. And still, this is way too sharp. Right? And so you see this thing? This one was here. And the other one was on the top. And so finally I started backing, going left, going right. Just playing with this. And eventually I managed to lock them. And so what I did, the only solution I saw was there's a light in there. And I thought, okay, my rear is towards that light. So what if I just back through the green light? You know, just back in there and just go here and back in here. And that's what I did. Of course, it caught some folks by surprise because, because I had to occupy the entire intersection, because this thing is, you know, very unruly, right? See, something is going on here with my... Why are we not locking? Okay. All right, that one is locked. So yeah, they, you know, I'm gonna give them a piece of my mind now. I told them on the phone, but of course they don't care, right? I told them, I said, 90 feet long. Can I park? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. See? Yeah, and I tried. That one is wider, but still. Oh, and then of course, when I finally was backing everything, I got too excited. And I backed the truck in the ditch here. Was stuck for half an hour. And then the chains came to the rescue. I'm gonna pick them up tomorrow. I'm too dirty now. I need to go to my room. You see, I thought I would park like this because there's no signs here, but there's signs on the other side there, like you cannot park. Yeah, no parking over there. But on this side there's nothing, and I'm not blocking this exit. I'm not blocking that exit. So man, the other time I went to a hotel in Thunder Bay was Super 8, and that one has a quite big parking lot, but I had the same problem. But back then I was just an 8 axle. I didn't have a booster. So with a booster it's not easy, you know. Yeah, you see this? Like on the other side there's quite a lot of parking. Big yard, I could turn around in there, but I wouldn't be able to leave unless I damage all those trees, you know. And I don't wanna hit my trailer, because then I can damage something on the frame there, you know. And it's snowing again. And by the way, that's why I left those chains in there, because I think I'll have a problem in the morning because it's all ice. So I didn't even change. I'm having my dirty jeans. So anyway, that's it. That's it now. Check in. Get to my room. Here's my accordion. I cannot leave it in the truck because it's gonna get cold. I wanna practice because I slacked yesterday, didn't practice at all. So